After 2 years, India is going to get a new Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna. He will succeed CJI Chandrachud a day after CJI Chandrachud's retirement on 10th of November. Now, while every appointment of a new CJI comes with a surprise, with Justice Khanna, there's also a bit of legal history and legacy that he carries with him. I'm Apurva Mandhani, and in this video, I'll tell you about Justice Khanna's family legacy and his promises for the future of Indian judiciary. But before I begin with these stories about his legacy and his promises, I'm also here to make an appeal to all of you. As you know, that we believe in non-hyphenated, questioning, fair journalism, and for that we need support of viewers like you. So I'd appeal to and I'll request all of you to consider taking our subscription. The entire process for the subscription, you can see it on your screens right now. Plus, we have all the links added to the description of this video. Of course, our subscribers get multiple exclusive benefits as well. We'll be adding the links to those benefits to the description of this video as well. So do check that out. Now, coming back to Justice Khanna, let me first begin by telling you about his family legacy. He's a third generation lawyer. Growing up, he had stalwarts to look up to within his family, and one such stalwart was his uncle, Justice H.R. Khanna, who was the sole dissenting judge in the infamous EDM Jabalpur judgment. Of course, let me tell you a bit about this judgment now and what it cost Justice H.R. Khanna. Now, during the emergency, the main tools of the government, this is the emergency imposed by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, the main tools of the government were the Defence of India Act 1971 and the Maintenance of Internal Security Act 1971, or MISA. These laws empowered the government to ban public meetings and impose press censorship. MISA allowed it to detain people without trial through executive orders. Now, several detainees at that time turned to the courts with habeas corpus petitions. At least 9 high courts, and you can see their names on your screen right now, ruled in favor of citizens and allowed them to file habeas corpus petitions challenging their arrests and detentions. However, while the high courts were fearlessly passing verdicts in favor of rights and liberties, the ADM Jabalpur judgment ruled in favor of the government. So, a major blow to the constitution came from the Supreme Court in this historic judgment during the emergency, and it's always been talked about as that black spot in the history of Indian judiciary, so to say. The majority verdict held that nobody could ask for any relief from a court as the fundamental right to personal liberty had been suspended, not even if the order of detention was without authority of law or was made by an unauthorized person or was malified or a wrong person was detained. So none of these reasons really mattered. The case was heard by 5 judges. You can see their names on your screens right now as well, over a period of 37 working days from December 1975 to February 1976. Justice H.R. Khanna, however, disagreed with the majority verdict, and it was an opinion which cost him his Chief Justiceship. Despite being the senior most Supreme Court judge at the time, he was superseded by Justice Beg as the Chief Justice in 1977. Justice Khanna resigned the same day. Now, Justice Khanna's dissent was noticed world over even back then. An article published in the New York Times on 30th April 1976 sang praises of his dissent, saying, and I quote here, "If India ever finds its way back to the freedom and democracy that were proud hallmarks of its first 18 years as an independent nation, someone will surely erect a monument to Justice H.R. Khanna of the Supreme Court," unquote. In fact, a life-size portrait of Justice H.R. Khanna hangs on the wall of courtroom number 2. And here's a really interesting fact. It only seemed fitting then that his nephew, Justice Khanna, who's said to be the Chief Justice, began his work at the Supreme Court from courtroom number 2 and is now said to be the Chief Justice of India. Now, as per a report by my colleague Bhadra Sinha, and again, like I always do, I'll be adding a link to Bhadra's report to the description of this video. Justice Khanna's own elevation to the Supreme Court in January 2019 also raised eyebrows. At that time, he ranked 33 in the All India seniority list of High Court judges. So he now superseded several judges senior to him to be appointed to the Supreme Court. As per Bhadra's report, during his short tenure of 6 months as CJI, Justice Khanna plans to draw out a plan to bring down pendency in the top court and has already begun deliberations on this. And that seems to be his promise for the Indian judiciary and for the future of the Indian judiciary. That's all I have for you today. This is Apurva Mandhani money for the print. For more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.